Rodney Taylor. I'm a saxophonist. Been playing many years. Too many to name right now, but product of Locke High School and a lot of great musicians like Gerald Albright, Patrice Rushen, Ndugu Chancellor, who we lost a little while ago, are all from Locke High School. And just happy to be part of that legacy. I've worked with, did a couple of TV theme show sitcom songs with by a lady by the name of Shaka Khan, which I'm sure you guys have heard of, and did a 3-year tour with Miss Anita Baker, and been kicked around the block a little bit. So just happy to be a part of the Third Force project.
Oh, that's so awesome, dude.
Wow,
Dude, well, I mean, and of course you came to us through because obviously our brother Derrick Edmondson was a big part of Third Force. And as people were like I was like, oh gosh, what are we going to do? Derrick's like, really, he's such a unique spirit. And,
Yeah.
it's like people were saying, oh, you should talk to this person, you should talk to this person. And nothing felt right to me. And so I was like, okay, well, I think what I need to do is I need to go to Deborah and say, if there was someone who could both honor Derrick's legacy and have their own thing and really contribute to Third Force, who would you recommend? And she just like without a second thought of you. She's like,
wow,
it's like this is the guy. And of course, I came straight to you, and right away it was like, yep, this is the one. So thank you.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm glad to be a part of it. And me and Derrick were each other's first call, subs, and man, it's just a blessing whenever I get called to do something, for him or something that he would have done. I always try to bring my best. Well, I always try to bring my best, but just to do it in his honor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions before we start playing the music, but I'm curious about what did you notice or find unique about our creative process, the way that Third Force works, or, what was the thing you noticed the most about working with us that may be distinct about working with other artists?
Well, it was really cool to to communicate back and forth, and not really being in the same room or anything, but man, you're really good at giving me a good base to work from, and the communication, and even though it's over the internet and all that kind of stuff, you really explain what you want very well. And so we got that, and man, once we understood what you wanted, we're off to the races. So I had a lot of fun doing it.
That's great. Well, I tell you what, let's play some music and then I can get your reaction, because the one thing is you've never heard, I mean, you know what you did, but you haven't heard what we did with what you did. So
right.
Let me add something real quick if I may. I'm out in northeastern Thailand, out in the middle of nowhere, basically in a rice field right now. And this is where I've been living for 5 years. And we did not really plan to do another album together till a year and a half ago. So we thought we were done 10 years ago and had moved on. And I personally haven't been involved on the recording and creating side at all. I've been working with Playing for Change and doing a lot of things with artists around the world. But as far as anything to do with Third Force, we both thought it was finished, and we hadn't even really been in touch much. Over the years, we're both busy and halfway across the world. So, he's finally convinced me. I finally got convinced to try it again, and didn't know if I had my part in me. And like yourself, we're used to working in the studio and having a direct interaction with artists. And the new era is not that way anymore. And with Playing for Change, we work with artists around the world, so I got more used to that global sense. So Craig is brilliant and set up the whole thing in a cloud. It was really effortless for me to open up my laptop out here in a bamboo hut and work on the tracks and create with the boxes he provided for me. And I had a learning curve again. I'm an older gentleman now, and that's not my thing. And it never has really been my thing. I'm more on the creative side and the editing and the arranging side. But it took a while, and we got a rhythm going. And so it got, I would say the middle of the project was the most fun for me. And that was all last summer. And we would see tracks like yours. And I would just wake up in the morning and open up my file, and there's my hard drive, and you know, and there's in the cloud are your tracks. And so we met through that way of not even directly communicating at all. And at first, it's intimidating not to be with somebody, because if you hear something as you're creating, you want to encourage that, you know. And but still, when I would play your track, I would imagine I was in the studio with you, and you were playing it real time to the music. And we go, you know, Craig and I both go a lot for, like many musicians, for feeling. We're looking for something that we didn't expect. We're just, you know, feeling energy basically. And you brought it, you know. And there were times where you would take it all the way up to the top, and you could feel it. And, you know, we would move some of your performances around. We would find something, a space for it, that where it might have worked better, the same phrase or whatever. But in general, you know, we would just use large chunks of what you were doing, and then arrange the other artists around it. Some would get your performance, some would not. So there was we don't have really one lead player in a track in general. It's usually at least two, and it can be three or four. So we're not really known for being a piano voice specifically, or a sax voice specifically. So it's this dance and interplay. And not knowing you, because, you know, I worked with Derrick for years, and you know, he's just glorious with his sound, and it wouldn't be fair to ask you to replace that or mimic that, or, you know, give us what we had. It couldn't be that at all. It would have to be give us you in the same spirit he has. And we feel we got that. We were very excited the first time we got your tracks. And you know, you were stealing the show, which is what, you know, we always ask that of an artist. You know, give us something that's safe, give us something with the melody, and then steal the show, basically. And and you did. You brought it home. And many of the other artists that recorded on the album, you know, mention you and your style and your expression. So I wanted to give you just that background a little bit, to know what we've been doing for a year and a half. And, you know, we did good with radio on the last track. We went number 1 and number 2 on 2 singles with the Billboard chart in this format. And so we felt like, you know, okay, that was 8 albums. We did that, you know, we're done. And so in a way, we were kind of competing with ourselves. And then we got out of that mode of really competing at all. It was only about satisfying ourselves. And obviously that's where most musicians get to anyway. Maybe it took me a while, but there were times in the past you served a label, or you served a radio format, you know, and kind of what they wanted, and, you know, knowing what they didn't want. And because we were known for kind of breaking the rules early on. I mean, you know, Himalayan flutes, or something that just wasn't smooth jazz. It wasn't in the idiom of what you normally hear on radio. So we decided we didn't really care. No offense to radio. We're grateful for radio, of course, but we didn't really care to have to please anybody but ourselves. And that was a big enough challenge. And so, you know, we have 11 artists on it, and you're a key one. Your sound, you know, goes throughout the album and makes quite a statement for being the first time with us. So I'm probably rambling on, but I wanted to give you that context of things a little bit as we play tracks, and wanted to let you know how exceptional we felt when receiving your tracks, how it propelled many things. And it's nice to get to know your spirit, because usually I can feel the person in the music or performance, or vice versa. You're usually what you're playing. So it is not nice to get to know your spirit. And I'll let Craig take it from here, but I'm very excited to listen to these tracks with you.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, and yeah, it was like I remember, and look, I know it can be a learning curve working with us because it's like, as William kind of expressed, it's not like we come to a track with something that okay, Rodney, do this, and this is exactly what we want from you. We're looking for, I don't know, what do you feel? Where can you take the track? Because we look to the players to inform us what the track is. I mean,
Hmm.
the whole concept of third force, I mean, the name comes from that energy that is more than the sum of the two parts when two people collaborate. Like when two people come together to create something, there's that third force, that third energy that is bigger
Yeah.
than that sum.
Yeah,
So
that's
Yeah.
all we're searching for. It's like nothing else. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
If it doesn't bring something to the table we didn't expect, then it's not working for us. Because there's, as far as I'm concerned, for me personally, there's people way more talented than myself, and so it has to be something that. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to interject that. Yeah, the third force name is really kind of a belief structure. It's kind of a concept that's grown over the years for both Craig and I. And I know you've experienced it with others. You know, you got Lennon McCartney, you got these writers in music where individually they're fine, but together it's like, wow, what's happening there? And so
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
looking for that with instrumental players. But excuse me for interrupting. You got me excited.
yeah, totally. Well, I thought I'd start with Precious, William. Because this is one where I think we thought this was a ballad, but the energy you brought to it was like, oh no, this one's like a rocker now.
Yeah,
So
you tore it up. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
all right, so
Cool. Well, let's hear it.
let's do it.
Nice, man. Really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, you are all over that one in the horn sections and the melody and the
Yeah.
solos. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. And doubling the piano and yeah, yeah. Very cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah, we got
Wow.
many other friends on there. My friend Mermans from the Congo playing the percussion and harmonica. Again,
Mm.
the harmonica is kind of a rule breaker, you might say, in smooth jazz, but
Mm-hmm.
the flavor just fit. It just fit like a glove when he works with you, and yeah, it's just wonderful to hear. Like I say, you stole the show on this track, and it became the the guiding force of the track, to say the least. So
Wow. Wow.
I
Yeah,
think this was
man.
the last one you worked on. And I remember I'm saying, no, this is a feature. I want you to just like turn off everything and just own it. And you're finally like,
Yeah.
and I was like, and you're like, mistakes and all. I'm like, yeah, man, just go for it. And you did.
And I never do that, man. I mean, not that I never go for it, but to send somebody something with, maybe some mistakes and some little things, I just said, okay, let me just do it. Let's just do it, because my brain thinks, even I think even before a sax player, a lot of times my brain starts thinking producer,
Mhm.
so that was a little scary for me to do.
I could tell. And I just want to say thank you for trusting us enough to do that. Definitely
Yeah.
to give us that spirit because there's something that came through in your spirit when you let go on that track that's just magical.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, man. It's got some energy to
now, as a
it.
producer, out of all 10 tracks we have, that one was by far the most time consuming for me, because
Mm.
it just, until we got your stuff in appropriately, it was really a mystery on where to go with it, because like we said, we almost had a ballad version of it initially. So
Hmm.
and you just took, I'm just riding a horse, I'm riding this bronco with you on this now. And uh so yeah, this particular one, and Craig and I kind of, when we're working, we feel like we have an A track or a B track. I mean, we all feel that as producers. Well, this is good, but this is maybe not as radio friendly, but it fits
Hmm.
with the album. We always felt that way with this track. I did. I just,
Hmm.
because I mean, I started the very root of it, and and then, of course, when you came in and we finally put it all together, it's definitely getting some notice from radio people that we've sent out advanced copies on. It's getting mentioned as
And
potential.
Oh,
and and
wow.
and William's son that did the design of the package, as far as he's concerned, this is the track of the record. I mean, he just goes,
Mm.
Precious is the shit. He's just like, that's
Oh, I
Wow.
didn't know that.
oh yeah. He sent me
Yeah.
a message just going, by the way, Precious is the track. That's his favorite by far.
Wow.
Oh, man. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice, man, because I love the little, how the time almost feels suspended, and then the
Right.
groove kicks back in, man. That's really,
I I was a new age artist back in '79, my first record in the '80s, and then I did 8 or 9 albums as a solo artist. And Craig and I started Third Force in the early '90s, and um, there's an atmosphere that we like to
yeah.
bring to it, and we like to have breakdowns where you're in another dimension, you might say, and then we swirl out of it and get back into it. But it's always been
Yeah.
hot on the bottom with a groove that's propelling, and then
Hmm.
kind of cool on the top. And we
Yeah.
we try to
Okay.
roll with both of those. It varies among tracks, but generally that's the theme and everything, because we have a propulsion kind of with the beats. And I know
Hmm.
today's world things are more simple, and we do have a ballad on here that's a little more simple, but ours gets a little complex with percussion and kind of the depth, and we have a more modern kind of percussion sound in here also. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess I got to say this too. It was a kind of almost an unthinkable job to kind of replace Derrick, you know, and
Hmm.
and so you come in with that mode, and Craig and I are missing him on so many levels,
Yeah.
and then you came sideways. It was like, okay, okay, what's this? Oh, somebody's feeling it, somebody's hearing it, and it's definitely, you have your own voice. There's no question, your own signature. And there
Wow.
were times when you get blue, where it goes a little blue in the phrase and kind of go out of bounds a little bit, and you come back. Those were just killing me. In the outro here, there's that where you go all the way to the top. It's that Saturday Night Live thing, and,
Yeah.
and you take it all the way down. And every time somebody plays it, I mean, I'm sure Dustin responds to that like most people do. So anyway, a real treat and a good one to start off with, Craig.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Wow. Well, that's special to hear. Hear that people are digging it that much, man.
I know as a producer, it's sometimes hard to take that hat off and just be an artist. Now for you to not really hear this for a while, you don't know what we selected where, you don't know who the other elements are dancing with you. I can get in your head, and I can imagine how much fun that could be, because you could just let go of the whole thing and just hear the statement of it and be more of a fan, a listener than a producer or an artist. So, and we kind of hear that through you. We've been doing these with other artists, and in every case, when we're playing it, all the little things I wished I would have done, because I got that list that never stops in my head as a producer, that they go away. It just all goes away. We hear one thing, and and so to me, it's in that track.
Yeah, and that's the magical thing for me on this experience of listening with people. They sound better to me when I listen with you than when I'm listening by myself. It's great. Yeah. All right. So shall we do Now and Forever next?
You're doing good on the sequence. Let's do this. This one's kind of the most emotional for me. There's no question. This is the one where Derrick's a lot of thinking for me on it. It's a ballad. It's beautiful. It ends the album.
Okay, you want to do Don't Say Goodbye then?
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Which one were you saying?
Now and Forever. I was going to end.
Oh, forgive me. That's another ballad. Yeah, let's play that one. No, let's play that one next. We'll get into the other one then.
Yeah, we'll get into Don't Say Goodbye.
I got a little confused. You're on so many.
I know.
What a story, man. That, tell,
Right.
that tells a story.
Totally. And I bet
Yeah.
that's your first time doing a trade-off solo with the Nepali flute player.
Yeah, I
Right.
recorded that in the Himalayas. The flautist is a very famous Nepali, and I recorded it in the Himalayas.
He sounds great, man. He sounds great, and
He loved you. He loved playing and dancing around you. So he was looking for those spots and doing his Nepali style between it. And, it was a real challenge for him. It was a whole new kind of style for him, and he rose to the occasion. But that dance with you guys, again, with artists around the world that never meet, but there's a real shared experience with the energy.
Yeah, man. That's amazing, man. It's really, I just love the way you got it. It just kind of intertwines, the melodies and the ad libs and everything. Really good job putting that together, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, it really is incredible. Like William has a lot to do with how these things go together. And I know it's like it can be a torturous process for him, but I mean, just him putting all the puzzle pieces together and working with it and too much and too little until he finds that magical dance between all the elements. I mean, he's taught me so much about that kind of way of producing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I know it has to take time, man, because you got all these elements. Because you would ask for multiple tracks from me.
From everybody.
Wow.
The same process with 11 people.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, as well as our own stuff. So, and there were times when I felt hopeless, to be honest with you. Like, oh my God, what do I got here? I got spaghetti, and I knew we were responsible for the final sound. But the bottom line is, and I'm sure it's the same with you, you have to be able to play it 100 times and love it.
Yeah.
And to get there is a mountaintop. There's no question. But then when it's there, it's there.
Yeah, man. Well, it's there. It's there. It sounds great. I'm loving it, man.
Thank you.
Well, we got more coming here.
All right. Well, so this is the last one that features you. So, and William, do you want to say anything about "Don't Say Goodbye"? Because you were already kind of going.
Well, this is the coda of the album. It just felt obvious to me ever since we were working on it. This was the end of the album, and there's like a period, even down to the beat at end. There's just a period on it. It's like a sentence, and then that's it. And then I got very moved by Derrick in the process of this track, and just almost felt there were times I knew him so well that I kind of almost know what he would say to me, and so and I did a lot of I'm in a farming community here, so sometimes there's a lot of activity, so I did a lot of stuff in the middle of the night, and so I had the most connection with his spirit, you might say, or just think, what would Derrick say? Not a matter of choice of what he would select, more like in a weird way, this is kind of a song for him. We dedicate the album to him, so and there's something about just the title of "Don't Say Goodbye" has so many multi-levels to it, and we try to make a soundtrack for someone's life, basically. Because it's instrumental and you just get a title. The title is really the lyric of the song. There's just one phrase, and usually on every one of our songs, if you really listen carefully, sometimes it's real painfully obvious, you might say, but the title is in the melody. You can actually sing the title. You'll find it somewhere. It's what we go through when we listen to it. And so this one just had a big emotional impact, and I get a lot of good response from this track. It's just, I think, features you in a way that you're on the pedestal you deserve with this track. You're the voice for the longing, you might say, and not just about a passing, but it could be about a lover. It can be about anything where we really don't want to give something up. So maybe it's best you don't say goodbye.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. So anyway, that's what it meant to me.
Yeah, man. Okay. All right. I get my tissue, man.
Yeah. I did. I'm afraid I broke down in this a half a dozen times. It was just missing Derrick, but it was also beautiful. I know he'd say, like, if you sit right next to me, and he, go with that feeling. Yeah, man, talent, man.
Yeah,
He
he'd be
just had
like,
a certain
Yeah,
way of saying things that
yeah,
that I heard. I thought I heard him say.
yeah.
yeah. And what else is funny, man, is that we're talking about the gig that I got called to do this coming up Saturday. And everybody there knew Derrick, man, and we were just kind of talking about him in the rehearsal and how much we miss him and how special that guy was, man. He
Yeah,
was,
yeah, yeah.
called everybody talent,
Was way
and
beyond playing a saxophone with him. Way beyond
yes,
that. Yeah.
yeah, man. But
Yeah.
you felt you felt his personality, and you felt his warmth through his horn, you know. And it's almost like I remember the first time I met him, man, and there tends to be a lot of time. It was actually at a jam session, and man, so a lot of times there tends to be this uh, competitive musical spirit against each other with sax players and stuff. And man, he and I came together, man, and we just had so much fun. We were admiring what each other was playing, and it was kind of magic, because a lot of times, I don't experience that as a saxophonist with other sax players. And I hate to say it, but a lot of times, and I don't know if it's me. I'm like, do I bring that out in people, a competitiveness? Because I just play what I feel, man, and I just kind of try to zone into whatever the music is doing, and fulfill what the music needs. You know what I mean? And I don't know uh, if it's that, or if it's just other sax players just have this competitiveness. But man, it was never that with me and Derrick, man. We just shared the space of the music, and he would do his thing and I do my thing, and sometimes we go back and forth. But it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. He was just a beautiful cat. I like I said, man, I don't, even to this day, I haven't found another guy to call who I know is going to bring it, who I know who's going to show up on time. I know who's going to, uh, have the right attitude for whatever the situation. And he was just that guy, man. He was that guy. So,
He was
uh,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And boy, did he love food too. My God. It's like, I just like, it's like, I remember it's like from the last record, we'd play gigs like, and we'd head out to Texas, like we'd be in San Antonio, and he'd be like, I'm going to Luby's. And he would just like, he would go to that restaurant, and he'd come back, and he'd bring Deborah like catfish in a little thing. He'd freeze it so he could bring it back to her on the plane. But
Yeah, yeah, man. And during COVID, man, he was like the gumbo king, man. He was making,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
almost weekly. I go by his house and grab a little cup of gumbo, man, because he, that was his thing, man. Great, like you said, lover food, but not
yeah.
just to eat it. He could cook, man. That guy could cook.
Yes, he could. All
Yeah,
right. You ready to hear this track?
let's do it.
All right.
Wow,
Great job,
man.
Rodney.
There's some stories being told in all of these, man. Just like you even calling it a dance. It's a dance. It's a conversation that's going on. Just intertwined. But yeah, that one. I can see why you put that as the period. It speaks. Really speaks, man.
Yeah.
Our friend Roberto Luti from Italy played the slide guitar. He's a longtime blues player from New Orleans. I mean, played in New Orleans for many years. He's originally from Italy, and
Uh-huh.
I worked with him with Playing for Change on many videos over the last 20 years, and we gave him a shot at trying a few things. And this one, really spoke to him. And
Yeah.
dancing with your sax, the whole thing was about dancing with your sax, and he really loved it. And we had pleasure of speaking with him last week on camera with this, and
Okay.
getting his feeling all of it. It's the first time he's been involved with third force like yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
but he has similar vibes. I mean, he just thinks it's magical, and that glad he could find his space in there. He knew how to hold a note and how to find that little hole where it was like almost a dance with you, almost a
Yeah.
hug sometimes. There was
Yeah.
something, and sometimes it gets a little gritty, and you
Mm-hmm.
just get that little feeling. I know you're feeling. I know you are. So yeah, I just love that track, and we get a lot of good comments on it too.
That's
I wanted to add that we are motivated mostly by the comments of the listeners.
Mm.
Frankly, there's not huge money in this, and you
Mm-hmm.
borrow a bunch of money to make the album, and so I'm not motivated by that. I feel retired, and I'm happy. I'm a rice farmer, and
Mm-hmm.
I have buffalo here. I got dogs, I cats, and I'm really satisfied. But
Oh, wow.
getting into this mode with Craig again, kind of awakened me in it, and then reading the reviews. It's extremely polite on any format. Go to Apple Music or anything, and it's almost like we paid a lot of people, because there's just a lot of good comments similar to yours, where they would tell their story of how this became a soundtrack, from whether it was they're in a convertible after a wedding and they played it all the way across the country.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
get people that tell us the stories where that worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
And just recently, just last week, we got a message from a gentleman in Ukraine, and I
Mm.
was very moved by it, and we responded. But he basically said, when the air raid sirens go on, he plays our music.
Wow.
And I go, okay,
Wow.
I mean, this is like last week. And
Yeah.
there's just a context where we're kind of making these soundtracks that people can apply to their life.
Yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
that's the third force there. That's something we can't plan ahead of time or organize or make it do this. It's something that the
Yeah.
combination of the people. So in a way, even though they're not playing music, the fans themselves have become part of the music. And I know
Mm-hmm.
you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean when I say that. I hope you didn't mind me.
Yeah. No, yeah, I can definitely see that, man, because it puts you in a better place. Like I've been saying, atmosphere. The music does that to you. So I can see with somebody, you in Ukraine and they're going through what they're going through, and kind of maybe even in a survival mode, man. You need that release. You need something that's gonna uh change your vibe, or at least help your vibe, to get to a better place and a better feeling. So you guys have that, man. It's in the music.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Rodney, thank you for doing this with us. Thank you for coming on, and mostly thank you for the heart and soul that you put into this project and the contribution you were to it. So
Oh man, well, I appreciate it. And when you like I said, as we communicated and I got into what you were really looking for, it was fun. I really had, especially with playing and doing the solo stuff. That's always fun, but just as much fun doing the horn section stuff, man. Because it was Mitch was his name, right? Trumpet player. Yeah, Mitch. And the phrasing and the swells and all of that kind of stuff. And then uh playing sax to that, a lot of time I could sneak in some lip slurs and some little things like that just to kind of help the expression of it. It was
Exactly.
really cool. It
Exactly.
was,
And gosh, I mean, and those little things you did just with the little bending into it or with the with lip slurs, as you say, it's like it
Yeah.
added so much because that's, it added the humanness of it. You can actually
yeah,
hear like someone really playing those parts.
yeah, man. Well, a lot of time it's the little, it's the our perfect imperfections, if you could say that. Those little nuances, man. That, like you said, just make it human, man. They gives it life. Sometimes I know I've been a little concerned with this AI stuff because somebody just sent me something and some website where you can say, okay, uh, make me a song with these lyrics and this, genre and all this kind of stuff. 30 seconds later, AI does it. But man, it does not, I still don't think they can get the human feel and the human expression. But because first of all, what the first word is artificial, so it's not real. But man, this kind of helps me, because I like I said, I got somebody shared it with me last night, and it really kind of did a number on me because I was like, oh my God, man, all these years of work, all these years of exploring music and phrasing and what makes things musical, putting a couple of notes a little bit behind the beat to make it a little more expressive as to playing it right on top of the beat, and to those kind of little things that you study the vocalists do that you interpret on saxophone or trumpet or piano or whatever it is that makes it human. And man, I hope AI never gets to that point, because it'll be a shame, man, because we put so much we put our spirit in, at least I know I put my spirit into this music, man. And I just that whole artificial thing is, I don't know if it's going to help us or hurt us, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I
Well,
think
we'll see how this. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Greg.
no, I mean it's like I look, I'm right with you. Someone shared something with me, and my initial reaction was I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, my first thought was I'm glad I'm freaking approaching 60 because oh my
Right.
God, if I was a 20 something, I'd be depressed. But
Yeah.
I was just recently watching. I mean, at least for me, I've contextualized it as a tool. It's
Hmm.
like there's going to be things that are going to add to what we do, and there's things that are going to detract. And I
Yeah.
was watching a friend over the weekend just interact with it more like a conversation, like an assistant, and they were saying, "Oh, we'll try it this way," but they were
Hmm.
tweaking it from there to find the soul of it because that's the thing about it. It just, like you said, it doesn't know to put a couple things behind the beat or to create those things that you can't put your finger on, but make something
Uh-huh.
very special. So,
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. I hope that wasn't a downer for you,
no,
but
no, no,
yeah,
no.
Well,
yeah.
I was going to
But
say this album. Let's see what this album does. We have an unusual amount of support out of all the albums we've ever put out. I've never experienced this kind of support from the record label or from radio. So
mm,
there's a lot of big talk. We're in supposedly over 100 stores already with pre-orders, and including
oh
Japan and
wow.
Germany. Tower Records Japan is legendary, and
Yeah.
I mean, they actually made a CD. So I actually text me your address and I'll make sure to send you out a
yeah,
copy.
you got a beautiful package, a
Oh,
beautiful CD. I don't know who buys them, but they made them, and there's still
right.
shops that stock them. And
Uh-huh.
so who knows really where this goes, or if we, are relevant anymore. It's hard to say, but the radio format's been very interested in what we're
Yeah.
doing. We think we can go at least 2 or 3 singles deep, and thank God we have a
Cool.
great label that's really wouldn't stop bothering us for the last 10 years to do another one. So
wow, yeah.
so we'll see. But I, like you with AI, it's become an assistant in some ways for me in a writing
Hmm.
area. But there's you know, perfect is not always perfect, and
Exactly.
they're too perfect for me. And you want your personality. Everyone's got a signature, it seems, but you go that route and you get something perfect, but not necessarily you. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know where the middle way, because there's going to be a middle way on it. But like you, Craig, I'm glad I'm an elder, and I'd rather do it the way we've always done it. That's,
Yeah,
for some reason, it
yeah.
just feels best because there's a lot of interaction with a human, which is much
Hmm.
more entertaining. Like talking with you is better than this damn AI machine. So,
Right.
uh, but we'll see how people respond to it. I think there is you know, I think there's a movement where we're trying to keep reality still, and find
Yeah.
that middle way. And it's too easy. I know friends too that have been working on tracks with AI, and you come up very quickly, and you can name a style and an artist and all that stuff, and you get something clever. It's clever,
Yeah.
but
Mm.
not soul satisfying. And I just think there's, at least in this format of music, people are more like yourself and us, where we feel the music, and I just don't think they're there yet with being able to create that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're not there, but I'm hoping they don't get there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
man, what a pleasure, man. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you guys' work and you know, your spirit, man, and it comes through the music. So thanks for making me a part of this.
All right. Awesome.
Right.
Well, Rodney, thank you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for just your spirit. We appreciate you.
Oh man, I appreciate you guys likewise.
Right. Good luck to you, Rodney.
All right. And
Okay, all right.
I have a good appointment today.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Bye
yeah.
bye, guys.
All right.
Okay, take
Bye,
care.
everyone.
Okay, guys, bye.